Hey everybody, happy Friday. So I am not sure why, but this morning I woke up with multitudes of conversations happening in my head as I was coming to, much of which were conversations in my dream states. However, the one that was kind of sticking in my awakened morning state was the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I thought to myself, what is that all about? So as I'm doing my remembering, Sodom and Gomorrah are two cities that were supposedly destroyed by God because it was wicked cities. And Lot gets two messengers that come to his home, which were men, and then he's hiding them because he does or doesn't know that they're messengers of God. But I think they supposedly came with a warning that the cities were going to be destroyed by God because of its wickedness. So then as men knock on the door, other men knock on the door, he offers his daughters up for sex. Yeah. So anywho, then his wife, Ridit, or something of that name, Ridit, I don't know how to say it, needs to go to the neighbors to borrow salt, I guess so she could prepare food maybe for these guests. But she lets everybody know that her husband has callers. What's that about? Right? So then, as the city's about to get destroyed, Lot grabs his wife and his daughters and heads out into the desert where these two messenger angels had warned them never to look back. And if you look back, you'll be turned into a pillar of salt. But apparently the wife turns around, turns into a pillar of salt. But remember, no one can turn around unless you're going to turn into a pillar of salt. So how does Lot and the daughters know that she turned into a pillar of salt if they weren't allowed to turn around? Because they had to keep going. Keep moving forward, not looking back. Right? Then, wherever Lot and his daughters wind up, they think they're the only humans left on earth, I guess. They make their father whine and have sex with him to repopulate the earth. But then if you go back and you think about Sodom and Gomorrah being two cities that are constantly being traveled to, then where are all the other people coming from? And is this a city of homosexuality? What is it? What is it all about? Why do the Muslims proclaim this story regarding being anti-homosexuality? And then, if the angels actually came to their house, why did they come in physical form? Why didn't they just give the message and let Lot listen and go? And then if they gave him that message to take off, run like hell because their city's going to be destroyed, and they're the only ones that are going to be saved, the only ones, for whatever reason. So how do you have these four godly souls, Lot, his wife, two daughters, amongst hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other evil people? And yet you remain pure, and you're the only ones that are going to get saved. Then you have to think about, what does the Bible refer to when it talks to salt? Well, it talks to salt as purification. as something that is durable, something that is of value, and many other things it talks about. And yet she was turned into a pillar of salt, not a pillar of donkey dung or something else. Pillar of salt that everybody thinks they know where it is, and it looks like a giant rock in the middle of something because someone said, oh, that looks like that could be Lot's wife, and let's name it this to give this whole story validity, right? So back again, if the messengers come to say they're going to save all this Lot, his wife, and two daughters who are so innocent, and they're going to take them out and save them, then why are they not told they're not the only people in the world? That they don't need to have incest and have sex with each other? Why are they told this part but not this part? It just absolutely blows my mind, especially when we also know that 300 AD, the Roman dictator or whatever destroyed all the Bibles. They had a complete destroying of all the Bibles, and even built monuments on what they thought was the last Bible burning party. So all these stories are created by whom? I mean, I even understand Thomas Jefferson wrote his version of the New Testament. So this is why we have to be really, really careful of the stories that we hear and that we're reading, and how distorted they may possibly be. Why do we say, when we're talking about the integrity of someone else, when we say they're the salt of the earth, they're a pillar of the community? Why do we use that in a very profound and positive expression? And then why are these words of value and durability and purification and loyalty that are used for the names that are talked to about salt in any biblical texting? And yet his wife, who they never really name, they just call her the wife, turned into a pillar of salt, then nobody could look back and see the pillar of salt. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a metaphor for what? She couldn't get over the city? What? What is it? But we get all caught up in, oh, this is the whole true story. But there's so much of it that's untrue and untold. And just made up. Just totally made up. So anyway, that was on my mind this morning. It was on my mind. Because I've heard so many different versions over many decades of this. And it just makes no sense to me. And so that's where we are in our space and time right now, is that all the teachings from the past that are being quoted by other people may not be the quote at all. And how does it work for you in the now, 2023? How does it work with all the ever-changings of the world? How does it really work with you and make you the best person you can possibly be by believing in what could be true, partial truth, out and out 100% lies plus, and just be in disguise of something that you think is loving and pure? And you just can't shake those thoughts because you think it's been placed in a storybook that nobody can explain the entire storybooks at all, which is why every religion fights over the text and fights over portions of a text. And they will literally put their life down for it. But that's not what our divine creator wants. Because we are made in that image, so we're told. Doesn't mean a physical image. It could mean and energetic loving. So how do you redefine all of this that works for you now? And so that's what was coming up for me this morning. And I'm always a questioner. I'm always like, what? But that doesn't, but then this scholar said that, and then this biblical person said that, and then what? Yeah, but how does it apply to me now? Whether that story is even true or not, how does it apply to me now? And do you think in the whole universe, Sodom and Gomorrah were the only two wicked cities when we had massive polarities that's still going on today that we're working to abolish and allow the light to be more of the primary source? And then again, how do you know what's so good if you don't know what's so bad? And how do you get so bad and know when you've turned good if you don't have these polarities? If you want to name it, good, bad, or indifferent. Those are just words I use because they're just in the English dictionary to describe it. Doesn't matter. It could be anywhere on the spectrum. So what's on your mind today? Let me know in the comment section what you're thinking and what you thought about what it is that I just shared. All right? Please like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you on the next video.